If your view of the world comes from watching the news and reading newspapers, you could be forgiven for lying awake at night worrying about the future. Apparently, rising violence and population rates mean humans are both killing each other in ever larger numbers and being born at rates the world's resources can't sustain. To make matters worse, all the wealth is concentrated on a handful of people in the world's richest countries. People in low-income countries live in poverty while the West gets richer. Depressing, isn't it? But do the statistics support our negative worldview, or is the world actually improving? Let's take global population first. It's around 7 billion now, in line with figures predicted by the UN in 1958 by the year 21,000. The same experts predicted will be around 11 billion. But did you know that 11 billion is probably as high as that number will get? The rate of increase will slow down in the second half of this century, thanks to falling birth rates today. Falling birth rates? Yes, that's right. And the last two countries, improvements in technology and health meant fewer children died young, fueling rapid population growth. These larger families produced even more children who survived into adulthood and had their own children. But with the wider availability of contraception in the 1960s, the global average number of babies per woman has declined from 6 babies per woman to as low as 2. The biggest factor in child mortality, do I need to see it? Yeah, you need, let's see, mortality, okay? Mortality is poverty, and while it's still true that only 20% of the world takes about 74% of the world's income, 60% of the world now falls into a middle, with 11.6%, the smallest amount of people in history, still living in conditions of extreme poverty. If the majority of the world's people have money, international aid would realistically achieve the UN target of eradicating, I suppose. Let's see how to pronounce it. Eradicating poverty by 2030. As poverty goes down, life expectancy goes up. Birth rates go down because parents can expect their existing children to survive, and the global population stabilizes. Let's see how to pronounce this word. Stabilizes. As for news stories that makes us think the world is an increasingly violent place, there's cause for some optimism too. Between the end of World War II and 1990, there were 30 wars that killed 100,000 people. Today, there are still civil wars. Yeah, civil, I think. Civil wars, but countries are mostly coexisting more peacefully than in the past. However, tourism has shot up in the last few years, and since World War II, wars have killed many more civilians than soldiers. Even for civilians, though, the statistics are not all bad, although deaths are 9 times more likely to be a result of violent crime than political conflict. The global murder the global murder rate fell slightly from 8 per 100,000 people in 2000 to about 5.3 in 2015. Of course, none of this means the world is perfect, and whether you personally are affected by war and poverty is often down to the lottery of where you're born. Also, we still face huge problems of our own making, particularly environmental ones like global warming and wealth and natural resources need to be distributed more fairly. But not all the news is bad news, whatever the TV and newspapers might say. Yeah, it's 9, not 9, it's 6. Do I need to see another article? Yeah, I'm not completely optimistic in general. Looking at the global health issues we passed in the last 3 years, where some people used big companies to get richer than they were before the global pandemic. But people need to think and reflect about their own local interests and take actions to achieve them, like protect their own resources, consume local products, and try to avoid money loans. Despite all that, I truly believe we live in a better world compared to what it was 200 years ago, according to the history. Let's see this person, what he's saying. Lopez, I think. Javi Lopez. I really think that my mind is too optimistic for the situation we are experiencing, since we are in difficult times, but there are also positive things about advances in medicine and technology. Edgar Lever on Edgar Lever. Well, I really think the world faces various challenges, but there are also positive developments in areas like technology, healthcare, and global cooperation. All of them, they are optimistic, surprisingly. Yeah. Let's close this at 1, and I think I'm gonna go open one. Do I need or complete this one? Hello. Let's see this one. This is from Alex, 87. Hello, can you explain please why in that task 2, question 3, the right answer is poverty? Thanks in advance. Hello Alex, 87. I think the answer most clearly lies in this sentence from the article. As poverty goes down, life expectancy goes up. Birth rates go down because parents can expect their existing children to survive, and the global population stability. This word again, I can't pronounce it, so I need to see it. Stabilizes, and another word here that I want to see the meaning of this word. Expectancy. This means that less poverty is associated with falling birth rates. The opposite of this idea is that more poverty is associated with rising birth rates. Does that make sense? All the best, Kag. Let's see another article. C1 level. Yeah. Do I need here? Yeah. Let's see which one do. A threat to bananas. Let's see this one. It's interesting to me. A threat to bananas. In the 1950s, Central American commercial banana growers were facing, oh goodness, were facing the death of their most lucrative product, the gross Michelle banana, known as Big Mike, and now it's happening again to Big Mike's successor. Is this successor? See, yeah, it's successor. Successor that Cavendish. Cavendish. Is it Cavendish? Yeah, it's Cavendish. With its easily transported, thick-skinned and sweet-tasting fruit, the gross Michael banana plant dominated the plantations of Central America. United Fruit, the main grower and exporter in South America at the time, mass produced its bananas in the most efficient way possible. It cloned. Do I need to see this one? Yeah, you need to see it. Cloned shoots from the stems of plants instead of growing plants from seeds, and cultivated them in densely packed fields. Unfortunately, these conditions are also perfect for the spread of fungi, physirism, what was this one? Let's see how it. Fusarium oxysporum cyspine, which attaching water to the stem and leaves. The TR1 strain of the fungi was resistant to crop sprays and traveled around in boots or the tires of trucks, slowly infecting plantations across the region. In an attempt to escape the fungi, farmers abandoned infected fields, flooded them, and then replanted crops somewhere else, often cutting down rainforests to do so. The efforts failed, so instead they searched for a variety of banana that the fungi didn't affect. They found the Cavendish, as it was called, in the greenhouse of a British duke. It wasn't as well suited to shipping as the Gros Michel, but its bananas tasted good enough to keep consumers happy. Most importantly, TR1 didn't seem to affect it. In a few years, United Fruit had saved itself from bankruptcy by filling its plantations with thousands of the new plants, copying the same monoculture growing conditions Gros Michel. Let's see another word here. Okay, this one I want to see. Bankruptcy, and another word here. This one, it's more on monoculture, and I think it is there. I think I struggled to pronounce this one, even though that is so easy. Copying. While the operation was a huge success for the Latin American industry, the Cavendish banana itself evolved from safe. In 2014, Southeast Asia, another major banana producer, exported 4 million tons of Cavendish bananas, but in 2015 its exports had dropped by 46% thanks to a combination of another strain of the fungi, TR4, and bad weather. Growing practices in Southeast Asia haven't helped matters. Growers can't always afford the expensive lab-based methods to clone plants from shoots without spreading the disease. Also, they often aren't strict enough about cleaning farm equipment and quarantining infected fields. As a result, the fungi has spread to Australia, the Middle East, and Mozambique and Latin America, heavily dependent on its monoculture. Cavendish crops could easily be next. Let's see this country, how to pronounce it. I think I pronounced it incorrectly. Mozambique. Yeah. Racing against the inevitable, scientists are working on solving the problem by genetically modifying the Cavendish with genes from TR4 resistant banana species. Researchers at the Queensland University of Technology have successfully grown two kinds of modified plant which have remained resistant for 3 years so far. Let's see this word, modified, yeah? How to pronounce it? Modified, not modified, modified. Modified, yeah? But some experts think this is just a sophisticated version of the same temporary solution that the original Cavendish provided. If the new bananas are planted in the same monoculture as the Cavendish and the Gros Michel before, the risk is that another strain of the disease may rise up to threaten the modified plants too. Modified, yeah. Let's see it again. Modified, yeah. What do you think of the solution to genetically modify the Cavendish banana? See, oh God, goodness gracious. Let's see the people opinion here. By Monol, let's see, it is immensely practiced to GMO on all kinds of species scientifically for better production, either for commercial or to feed the population. It introduces in the regions where the weather and soil conditions suitable for. But there's a great threat always be as potential that can grossly impact on not only the monoculture but also other species and living animals. Let's see another opinion from where I want to see this one by Santadusi. I have never been a pro GMO person cause I believe modifying nature's biological process won't bring positive results at the long term. Instead, I think a better solution would be the development and implementation of traditional methods in different weather conditions. Also, it is relevant to conscious, yeah? Is it conscious? Conscious, yeah. Conscious of the natural limitations of a banana crop land can have in terms of producing bananas. What else do I need? Yeah, let's see this Vitali 128. From my point of view, implementing, what was this word? Let's see how to pronounce it. Yeah. Implementing GMO as in our lives is incredibly beneficial for all people due to the rapid pollution of the environment, and one day GMO food will save us from famine when the environment will be extremely polluted. I think it's very, let's see, by Betel, yeah. I think it's very impressive and it's good to see human development in various fields. However, it's also important to maintain a balance and continue to prioritize a healthy environment. I'm gonna stop in here, or yeah, it's 20 minutes that I read today. I read for almost 9 minutes a day, but today I stick for a long time. Yeah, I don't have, let's see this one by Atif. I don't have any solution because honestly I'm not interested in botanic. What is this word? Botanic. So I have only one request: don't grow bad and unhealthy bananas which can damage consumers who eat them, like me. Yeah, we want to be consumers, not to be someone else. Yeah, let's see. Have a lovely day, everyone. I finished for today. I can't read more. I've read Arabic for 1 hour and now I'm reading English for 21 minutes. That's it for me.